Alright guys, so in today's video we're going to be talking about BONK Coin after finally breaking out of that descending triangle, as well as MYRO if you're holding MYRO. And as usual guys, you don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and let's get into it. Anyways, now we're going to start with a BONK Coin now guys. Recently we've seen BONK Coin bouncing off that support that now is kind of set in stone as a strong support on BONK Coin, which is that 98 or around 10 level on BONK Coin. As you can see guys, now we're seeing a strong bounce, and as predicted we're seeing that breakout, but now we're seeing kind of like a stagnation in the price. Now BONK Coin is not doing much, but we do have something interesting happening here, is that BONK Coin finally took out this previous high, finally changing that market structure from lower highs, lower lows to now again higher highs, higher lows, possibly doing this again. So that's a very good thing to still see on BONK Coin. I do think that target around that 18 is still on the table, if not even a new all-time high on BONK Coin. Now depending of what Bitcoin is gonna do, and it seems like the market is slowly shifting toward being bullish again, and altcoins this week seeing some green bouncing, a lot of bounces everywhere here, which kind of now is bringing that FOMO back into the market, into the hype and that greed, which are all good things for BONK Coin or MYRO here today. So now what we need to see here on BONK Coin guys, for a nice continuation or for seeing a nice bounce this week and possibly seeing that $18 target, we need a BONK Coin to be holding these levels here around that 12. Now that recent previous high, we need that to hold, which seemed to be the case right now guys. If we can zoom in here, we can see that now it's been around 7 days or a week where BONK Coin is just hovering above that 12, which is a nice sign to see, which is a good sign to see here. And we still got one more day for that weekly candle to close, and we needed to close above that 12. If that happens, that's pretty bullish, and we could still target that 18 level on BONK Coin or even higher prices. As I said, now we could still see this happening on BONK Coin, taking the previous high or even putting a new all-time high. As we've seen recently now, Solana as well are releasing new phones and possibly new airdrops coming ahead on Solana phones. They could just possibly pump that BONK Coin. And just to not get ahead of ourselves here guys, now I do think for those that have been on a painful path recently on BONK Coin, looking at it dropping like that, if you do see yourself in profits around these levels here around 18, please do take profits, or please do de-risk and take some off the table, as we never know right now what's gonna happen in the future. And as well, BONK Coin now could still keep going sideways, nothing much happening for a while before we see any major rallies. So you do want to have some capital on the side for any major dips that we could see in the future, not only on BONK Coin but on other coins that you might want to see yourself holding for the bull market and whatnot. Now when it comes to MYRO guys, now MYRO recently guys have seen some sort of a bubble pop kind of chart, kind of play going on. A lot of people unfortunately got trapped into MYRO recently, and now finally MYRO is seeing a bounce. Now here guys, the question remains, is MYRO gonna keep pumping? Now recently guys, we've seen that 8 level here guys on MYRO as a kind of a resistance slash support on MYRO, and we can see now it went below it, got rejected from it, spent around 11 days below it, and finally broke out. Now for those that kept holding through this painful path, now again guys, if you are in profits on MYRO, don't forget to take some, or at least de-risk, lower the risk and whatnot, do what needs to be done here. As you can see guys, now it's still pretty risky to be holding MYRO, although right now I'm gonna be honest with you guys, it looks kind of bullish here as it is holding above that 80 level. So that 80 level here on MYRO, as you can see, has been a strong support or resistance in the past here, and now it's flipping to being a support. Now if this holds and we see a bullish market guys, we could still see MYRO rallying. This could pretty much happen, and we could even go to up to that level here around that 17 level. We could still see this happening, but as I said guys, you cannot take this to the bank. This is not financial advice as usual, and you should not count on this to be tapped, or you should not base your life savings into this price being tapped. As long as we do have Bitcoin now under a resistance around that 52 53k, we still kind of not out of the woods yet, especially with MYRO. Now this could still be a bear trap or a dead cat bounce for those that's been on a painful path recently on MYRO to get out. You can bet a lot of people are gonna get out here before a possible breakdown. Usually this happens, guys. This might not be great news, but just keep in mind for those that are holding MYRO, if this keeps holding, it's good days ahead, happy days. If that 80 level holds, good days, happy days. If that breaks down, then we could just confirm this to be a bear flag, guys. Now a bear flag, this usually plays like that, guys. The bear flag does something like that. Usually it's a kind of a dead cat bounce where people kind of get some hope back again, get bullish again, gets back into the market as the people that got out the lows here unload their bags, and usually this breaks to the downside. As you can see in this image representation here, this could be a textbook bear flag. Now for the sake of those holding MYRO here, I hope this is not the case here, guys. And as long as it is holding that 80 level, as I said, as long as it's holding here, it's still looking good. Now as long as it is holding above here, there's nothing to freak out about. And as I said, as we could still see next week, if we do see the market being bullish again and we see meme coin starting to rally, and especially we want to see BONK coin as it is now the leader on that Solana meme coin chain. We want BONK coin to rally, we want BONK coin to hold. As long as BONK coin is holding, meme coins on Solana like Dog with Hat and MYRO are gonna do kind of good, or are kind of gonna see some continuation to the upside. It might be a slow grind, but we could still see it happening. So that's about it here, guys, in today's video. I would like to hear your opinion in the comment section, or if you have any more questions, you can leave them in the comment section. You can join my Discord, link in the description, is free to join. And thank you so much for hanging around here today. And as usual, nothing is financial advice, and I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.